Yeah.
Good morning, Karolina, and good morning, everybody. Today,
Good morning, Sabrina.
yeah, welcome. And I love the fact that you are in the open air with this beautiful tree behind you,
Yeah,
green
me too.
color. Yeah.
Hmm.
So here in Italy, it's a bit autumn time, but summer is coming soon.
Yes, but your summer is much longer than mine.
Kind of. Sometimes, yes, but it's not started yet.
Yeah, yes, so late. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, today we are going to share more about other kinds of fears. We have had
Hmm.
another beautiful video that people can go and watch. And today we are going to share more about the fear of being alone. And this applies to men and women, but of course, we address mainly women, but this really applies to every human being because human beings are animal and they are social animal who are used to be in a group and
Hmm.
even to find a companion, a partner. So this fear can affect our life a lot, and it can really impact us in ways that we cannot even imagine. Yeah, but when we become aware of this fear, then we can work on it and we can understand it
Yeah.
from the root, and then we can transform it in something
Hmm.
more useful.
Yes, for sure. This is, I think, what is really important is to find the reason, the root, as you said, Sabrina, because it's not enough to know that I have a problem, that I have an issue, that I can create good relationships, that somehow I am not good in that. It's important to look for the answer and to understand why do I feel this way and why do I create that kind of relationships that are not good for me. So finding this understanding is something really incredible that can transform life and transform everything. Because, as you said, we want to talk about the fear of being alone. Why do we fear? Uh, why do we feel this fear? Why
Yeah,
are we scared of being alone? Why can't we be alone for some time? And did you ever ask this question to yourself? I ask the audience now. Did you ever ask that question to yourself? Why do I feel fear about that? Why I can't be alone? Why? And Sabrina, maybe you can also add something to this
yes, I
question.
am. I
What can be
am.
the reason? Hmm.
And before I do that, let me remind everybody that
Yeah.
this video is a recording. It's going to be on different platforms. But if you happen to watch this video on our YouTube channels, click the button and subscribe so that you can stay updated with every video that we are going to add and to publish. And you can comment under the video because we are going to answer for sure. And you will find in the description of the video all the links to connect with us because, you know, when we do the first step and we ask for guidance, because I don't like to consider myself a master or, even if I have done a lot of trainings, I am a guide. I accompany people, I
Hmm.
accompany human beings, which are mainly women, but they are souls first. And I accompany them in their own
Yeah.
transformation. So when you want, you can connect with us. But with that said, yes, of course, I can add more about this question that you said. Do you ask yourself that question? I will go a step backwards because I think that one person must first become aware that they are afraid. So, by observing yourself, and this is a lot of value, I can tell you, because it took me years to understand that, but you have to
Yeah.
observe yourself. So, first of all, ask yourself if you are in an in between relationship situation, ask yourself, how do I feel about it?
Hmm.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
if you are uncomfortable, because you are being alone. Then you ask yourself the question that Karolina just suggested, because you really have to start observing yourself and feeling in your body what is it that makes you uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
by being alone.
Yeah.
So, and I have had many friends and also I've had clients, but when I was younger, when I was a young woman in my 20s, I actually could be alone, but my friends, my very good friends, girlfriends, they were going from one boyfriend to another, and they could not
Mm-hmm.
spend time with themselves. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
they didn't understand why the relationships were not working,
Mm-hmm.
but they were not giving themselves the time. And what I've seen with some clients who wanted to work on that specific relationship, understanding why do I attract or create, because we have to explain, Karolina, you can also say more about this, but
Mm-hmm.
of course, you and me know that we create everything ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for some
Yes.
people who are like I was some years ago, maybe it's easier if we say that they attracted someone,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not easy. For me, it was not an easy lesson to understand that I create whatever I experience in my life, even the bad experiences, even the heavy experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
created them for sure. Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's the fear of loneliness. Why does it have to be a fear and just not a feeling? Because, of course, we can feel lonely. We are allowed to, we have the permission. We have to give ourselves the permission to feel lonely from time to time, because we are human and we are here to experience all sorts of emotions, all
Mm-hmm.
sorts of feelings. So I don't know if you can see me and hear me because you're frozen.
Yes, you were frozen for a short time, but now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you, but
Could
yes,
you,
and you too. You are frozen.
could you hear me anyway
Yes,
while I
I
was
can.
speaking?
You are not moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now I
now
am me.
yes. Now I can hear you. Yeah.
But could you
But
hear what I was saying?
yes, yes, I could.
Perfect. So yeah,
Yeah.
now if that made sense to you, what else would you add for people who are starting to become aware, for people who are not even observing the fact that they cannot be with themselves?
I think thank you for that question. I think that it's very important to ask the right question, because we are asking the question to ourselves, but bad question. We are asking, for example, why don't they like me? Why don't they want to be with me? Or why they don't like the way I am? We are asking this question about how people see us, not what do we feel about that people. And when we want to be aware, as you said, we need to change the focus of this question. I think we need to focus on ourselves, as you said, Sabrina, exactly. Why do I feel? Why do I feel this? And what do I feel? To understand myself, because when we will focus on that, then we can find the answer. Yes, because it's really not so hard and difficult. Just ask yourself, what do I want? What do I feel in this moment? And try to dig deeper. What is behind that feeling? And you will go deeper, and you will find other answer that it's connected to this first answer, and you will know more about yourself. Because, for example, uh, I was usually alone, or maybe I didn't had a lot of attention when I was a child, or no one liked me because in the past, in the childhood, I was, for example, sick or ugly, or I was thinking about myself this way, and
Yeah.
that's why I still hold to this feeling that I am alone. And even what is interesting, even when you are not alone and you are surrounded by many people, you can feel this way because you are holding yourself to this belief from the past that there must be something wrong with me or maybe something not enough. And that's why I feel it even if I am not alone. And I think
Absolutely.
also it's about repeating the story. When you are repeating the same story every day, this old story, these old feelings, when you are hurting yourself with that story, it won't change. You need to, as Sabrina said, you need to uh, focus on yourself and see it from different perspective because it won't change if you won't change the perspective. Then you will repeat all the time the same story and then you will feel lonely even with many people who loves you, in
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just take advantage from what you say now
Yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
remind everybody that our brain, our mind work in a very systematical way. So it's been studied. Neuroplasticity has been showed by a lot of studies, and now more and more it becomes known also to the public. But the first thing that you want to understand is that our brain learns by repetition. And by repeating yourself always the same story,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot create a new story. You can only confirm the old story. And because I think I've said it in another videos or two, but it is really important for people to be reminded. We produce around 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day. It's a lot of thoughts. And
Yeah.
they are not new thoughts. These are thoughts that we repeat ourselves every day from every day, every day, every day since
Yeah.
we were kind of born. There are
Yeah.
certain patterns of thoughts that we are repeating ourselves since we were young, very young. And that becomes so familiar that your brain is going automatically to that kind of
Mhm.
program of instruction. And then you cannot get out of there. So when you
Yes.
want to start changing your habits of relationships, for instance, or you want to understand why a relationship ends and then you are alone and you are
Mhm.
uncomfortable being alone, feeling afraid, feeling scared of being alone, you have to really become aware that you have been so disciplined and so consistent
Mhm.
and until that moment, until this moment that you're watching this video where we are talking
Yes.
about this, you have been so disciplined in repeating yourself the same exact
Yeah.
story that has
Yes.
then created attracting certain types of men or women and certain types of relationships. and
Yes. In
and you, when
100%.
you are alone, you are repeating yourself a certain story all the time that has trained your brain so well, and your brain is like a servant, the best servant, because it
Mm-hmm.
only does what you want it to do. This is the other
Yes.
rule that is incredibly like awakening.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because it's so logical, but you never think about it. The more I repeat certain thoughts, the more I reproduce because I confirm my reality to myself. And I love the way Dr. Joe Dispenza actually explains this because he says,
Mm-hmm.
we see the way we see our reality depends on our personality, on our personal
Yes.
reality.
Yes.
The reality that
Yes.
we see is personal. It depends
Yes.
on what we are telling ourselves. So if we want
Yes.
to
Of
change our
course.
reality, we must change
Yes.
our personal reality, our
Yes.
personality. And I find
Thinking.
it
Yes.
so beautifully said. It's, you couldn't find better words. It's
Yes. But as you said, it sounds so easily. but it needs your consistency every day. So it needs to be repeated
Mm-hmm.
every day, many times. For example, I'm sitting here now, I'm looking at the lake and it's beautiful, yes. And for someone, it could be, as you said, different perspective and feelings because they are focusing on something negative in their life. So it's really incredible what how can this knowledge can change your life when
Yeah,
you really will understand and accept that true, because you need to accept that everything in your life looks the way you see it, and it can be really wonderful if you only choose it. If
yeah,
you will choose that I want to feel wonderful, I want to take everything what is the best from this moment. And in fact, it needs your work, like everything in your life. When you want to change yourself, if you want to learn something new, you need to give your time, your attention, your focus. You need to repeat that. Without that, you won't learn it. So it's normal. It's normal way of learning something new that you need to give your time, and you need to try many many times, as long as it will become a part of you, this natural way of being, thinking, acting.
yeah,
And then it's what is fascinating, that when you are when this moment just showed up in your life, then you just even don't notice it. It just
yeah,
starts to be your normal life. It's like this old you never existed before, and it is something really incredible, because even when you will think about yourself from, for example, 2 years before, you are different now. And it shows you how you can change, how your life is changing every day, that you are not the same when you were a child. Yes, you are doing much more, you can do
mm,
more, you have a lot of talents and capabilities. So in fact, it shows you that you are doing it without even planning. But it's important what you want to do, not doing it in automatic way, just to create your beautiful life and change these thoughts. And you can change the thoughts, because sometimes maybe it looks like we have no control over it, but you
yeah,
have this control. You need to just be aware, as you said, Sabrina.
yeah,
The awareness is
yeah,
something needed in that
yeah,
process.
yeah. So the fear of being alone, let's go back to the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pain
Yes.
and it's real. It is real. You know, when I was afraid of being alone, and I cannot even say that sometimes I am not anymore afraid of being alone because I'm human. So of course I can feel that feeling, but
Mm-hmm.
the difference that I notice on myself from the time where I was afraid and that triggered so many negative judgment on
Mm-hmm.
myself and on others, it's the difference is huge because today I know that even if I feel afraid, I know that I can go to the root cause of that, I can work on that, and I can transform it. So
Yeah.
what has to be the message that we want to put out here is that once you are aware that you're afraid to be alone, and this is why you are starting a series of relationships that are not
Mm-hmm.
working then because you are not giving yourself the time to understand exactly who you are. Once
Mm-hmm.
you understand that, then you can work from the root cause. And the
Yes.
subconscious work that you can do with us is one of the best works, I think. Not because it's
Yes.
us, because we have done the work already. This is why we can say it. Yeah.
Yes, and on the last meeting, we've met on the a little group online with Sabrina and a few other people, and we were talking about how hypnosis is incredible, really, that we really want everybody to know it, to experience it, to feel it, to understand that it can change your life. That's why we are so enthusiastic, and we want to show you the power of that tool, that
Yeah,
it's
because
so
it's about
powerful.
personal, it's personal development, you know. we talked in the last video, Karolina, about finding a new name for this hypnosis
Yeah, yeah,
word that
yes.
is so
Hmm.
scary. But that was the other video, and I invite you to go and watch it because it's really interesting. But it's about personal work. You know, you
Yeah.
want to take care of yourself, and you can do it at a subconscious level. And when you do it from the subconscious level, it's going to be a long lasting result, a long lasting
Hmm. Hmm.
transformation. Because,
Exactly.
Karolina, you were saying it, at one point you will look at your old version and you will see that it's not you anymore. And
Yes.
it will not impact you anymore. And
Yes, and it doesn't have any sense after when you can see the connection during this work on subconscious level, nothing is the same after that
no, you
because
just have breakthroughs.
yes, yes, and then you can see that it doesn't have any sense even for you now to still go back to the past and to find, I don't know, to look for something, what is the solution or just explanation for yourself that I'm doing this way today.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't. It was useful in the past because it was, but today it's not. That's why you feel this way, and that's why you need to change it.
Yeah, definitely. So I just loved it.
Yes,
Today we are
me
going
too.
to be disciplined and we are going to end the recording now. I wish you a
Yes.
beautiful day at the lake. Enjoy it.
Thank you. And I also wish you a beautiful day in your place and beautiful walk because for sure you will go
Yeah,
have a
I
walk.
actually went already. It's raining, so I will wait when it's stopping and I go again. But thank you. And
See
thank
you.
you. And I wish everybody else who will watch this video, we are giving you so many tips to start becoming more
Yeah.
aware, more conscious about yourself. And then if you want to do the deep, deep work, you can
Yes. Deep
find
work.
us. You have all the contacts in the description of this video. Bye bye.
Yes, exactly. You only need to make a decision. That's all.